Hey guys, we're working with the Pyment today. Hopefully there's no sour grapes here. Hey guys, that's right. We're going to be working with the Pyment today. We're going to go ahead and rack this bad boy, and we are going to go ahead and back sweeten today. It's been almost 6 months. I believe it was December 11. It was made, and December, I can't read it, it's all the way around the edge. I believe it was 28th or 29th was when I racked it off of the grapes, and it's been sitting bulk aging this whole time. It's incredibly clear. I can read a book on the other side of it. It's really, really clear. There is some sediment on the very bottom, which is good to go. Hopefully we haven't disturbed any of that. What we're going to do today is we're going to go ahead and rack it, and I believe we're going to rack it in one of these bad boys. Unfortunately, I don't have another wide mouth jar available right now. They're all being used at the moment. I'm gonna go ahead and set this down into my sanitization water solution so that it can get sanitized. Now, my wife in particular likes sweet wines, Moscatos, dessert wines, things of that nature. So this is right at a gallon. I'm going to probably go ahead and put 0.8 pounds into this to sweeten it, which should put it at a very solid semi-sweet to almost very sweet mead. I'm making this primarily for her so that she can get a taste of it and get a feel for it and get into it as much as I am, frankly. I know she does like mead. She loves her wines. But my attempts almost 15 years ago now, previously were not as good as what I've been doing this time. I've learned a ton since then. And have really stepped up my game. So hopefully these are up to her standards, and but we shall get started here in just a moment. I'm going to go ahead and finish getting these sanitized. I wish I did have a wide mouth. They are certainly easier to work with, and they will probably be the only thing I'll work with in the future. It's not that these are bad necessarily. They're just not as good as they could be. The wide mouths, they're just easier to clean. They're easier to get to. They're easier to deal with in general. Hopefully that stays standing while I grab let's see, I'm gonna need one of those. Give me one of those. I think my beard is hitting the mic here. May have to adjust that just in case. Just in case. And one of those. Last but not least, where is my I don't have a 3-piece lid. All right. So what I'm going to need to do is we're going to go ahead and run through this exercise. But at the end, I'm going to put the lid on it. I'll put the bung cap on, and I'm going to need to go and get. I'm going to need to wash this lid here that's on this airlock. So that I can get this capped. I'm gonna need to let it sit for a couple of days after I've back sweetened to see if there are any changes. It could, it's highly unlikely, but it could possibly restart a fermentation. Really don't think that's gonna happen, but we'll see. I'm gonna get there ready. I think I'm gonna take a small sample before and then a small sample after. So let's get this started. Very gently get that off. And we're gonna go ahead and set that down right on the edge here. Now, first and foremost, yeah, definitely smells like a grape wine. Nothing particularly stellar about it. Tell you what I am gonna do though. We're gonna bring this out. And we are gonna go ahead and pre-fill this just a little bit. There we go. Make sure that is all the way off. And turn the gas on just a bit. Okay, so that's pre-filled. I'm gonna go ahead and let the gas finish draining out. The gauges are slowly coming down, and we can get that to off. Now that we've got that pre-filled, about halfway in, let it flow. So remember, there is a layer of carbon dioxide on the top of that right now. So I am not real worried about any kind of oxygenation at the moment. We're gonna take that out and transfer that over to our sanitization liquid. So now we have a beautiful, very clear Pyment here. We're gonna need to go ahead and set up a funnel. And let's get the honey. Now I want to talk to you about this honey. I opened this to finish off, can't remember which one, but I was finishing off the amount of honey that I needed to make one of these over here. And if you'll notice, this honey I've got nice and flowing up top, which should be enough. But down at the bottom, it's hard. It's crystallized. This is perfectly good honey. This entire batch. I've had this in some warm. Of course, my sanitization solution is always hot out of the tap, so 110, 115 tops. And it's been sitting there for a while, and it's gotten that much nice and soft and malleable for us. The rest of that honey, though, is still good. Honey can and will crystallize. It just takes some time in some warm water, and it'll come right back. So if you have honey and you're playing along at home and you have honey, do not worry about this. This is still just fine. You can still use this. We're going to go ahead and make sure that this is on pounds. We're good to go. And while I'm pouring this out, I just want to remind everybody that I am now on Twitter at Solstice Meadery. You can find me there anytime. Hang on just a second. Also, if you find these videos fun, entertaining, educational, like, subscribe. Share the videos if you can. More the merrier. There is almost going for about 14 ounces. Almost there, 13. Cutting it a little close on the liquefied honey. And I'm gonna go just 1 or 2 ounces over because I know I'm going to leave some all on the inside of that. So now we are going to take our honey and we are going to go ahead and pour it right down the center here. And again, remember, I pre-filled this with CO2. So that is not splashing into oxygen, not causing any issues whatsoever. You know what? I forgot to take a sip of this before I started doing this honey in. That's okay. I think that may be all I'm getting. Probably need a smaller beaker for this next time. But we live, we learn. Now, I have the problem of there being mead and honey, but they are not mixed. I'm going to use my wine whip Now the nice part is this does wonders for being able to get the honey mixed with very little agitation at the top. And what we're going to do now, that is off and that is off. We're going to turn a little gas on. Now essentially what I'm doing is I'm just ensuring that there is a constant flow of carbon dioxide down into here. I'm going to turn that gas off. Ooh, and it's cold. That is what happens when you let it flow for a while. You have to kind of be careful, jockey with the flow rate, because as carbon dioxide comes out of this tank through the manifold gets cold, which then changes how it interacts with the gaskets and can actually change your rate of flow over time. So you just have to be a little careful. Okay. We're going to go ahead and grab a sample and see how well we did. Now it's not much of a sample, it's pretty small. So there's a bit of cloud, which is to be expected. I just added honey. Honey will add a haze to the mead for a while, but that should clear up as well as it finishes integrating with the mead. So this is looking really good. It does now have some legs on it. I can see the fresh sugars from the honey trying to stay connected to the glass as I bring it from this position to here. I can see them running. So it smells really good. I can smell the grapes. Not a whole lot of alcohol smell on there. It's a faint alcohol smell. I can definitely smell the grapes on there, which is kind of nice. Smell the honey, definitely. I wouldn't necessarily say either one of them really overpowers the other. So definitely a good strong honey flavor. I can taste the grapes on it. Surprisingly, there's not a whole lot of the, I would expect it, I was hoping for a bit more of a mouthfeel with the grapes and the skins. It's very mellow, very, very mellow. Considering this is about 14%. I can just barely feel that little tingle kind of feeling you get, that astringent kind of tingly feeling that you can sometimes get on your on the tip of your tongue, on your lips. I kind of want more. That's good stuff. It's really good. So there you have it. That's a very basic transfer, last transfer, and back sweeten. We will hold steady on this for a couple of days. I'll put an airlock on it when I'm done here. And in 3 or 4 days, we'll check it to see if there's been any activity. We know that we ended at a 0.098 on this. And basically we'll take a quick gravity reading to see if we are still in that same ballpark. If we are, if there's been no activity whatsoever, then we're fantastic. That means we have not started a fermentation again and we're ready to bottle. And we will do that at that time. I believe I will be doing, for this one, I think quite a few in this. And then the rest of it in my 187 milliliter bottles so that they can be samples. I don't see that this is going to be something that can be drunk very quickly and very easily. It's really smooth already right now. But it's at 14% alcohol, which is typically 2 to 3% more than what your average wine is, your average grape wine. What that's going to mean is that you could drink this. It's super smooth. It's easy on the palate. You could down it really fast and get really tipsy, start feeling the effects way before you realize it. And you would have already had, another glass, whatever. So you're going to want to go easy on these. Most of my meads, you'll want to go easy on because I tend to brew them high. And then I will back sweeten and flavor to compensate for any high alcohol, burn, whatever. But in mead, here's the great part. In mead, 9 times out of 10, that high alcohol burn mellows out over time. This mead is not like any other alcohol that you'll drink. It is the most fantastic, wonderful thing in the world. It really is. I absolutely love mead. So we will keep an eye on this next couple days, and then we will be back, won't you, to bottle this when I'm ready. That'll be probably in the next video. Again, I really appreciate you guys coming along for this ride. If you like the videos, please give it a like. Please give it a subscribe. Share the videos with your friends on your social media. Check me out on Twitter at Solstice Meadery. I will be, if and when I start going out and about and bringing brews with me, since I'll have some here shortly, I will be letting people know where I am at with those brews so that if you want to come and meet me, we can sit down, we can have one. I'll whip out my phone, we'll do a quick little interview, and you tell me, honest opinion, what you think of my brews. If you have some, I would love to try yours as well. So any of you home brewers out there, check me out on Twitter. We can get together and we can swap stories, swap brews, and just have a good old time. Anyway, until next time, if you feel like drinking, drink like a warrior, have some mead. Take care, guys.